All right, you are now tuned into episode 339 of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. I'm your brother, Old God, from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What up? What up? It's your man, Sam Ant Barrel. Hip Hop News. We're in the building this evening on our Thursday episode of the baddest goddamn podcast out here to date the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Oh, God, what's good, my brother?
Peace, man. Excited to be in the building today. We keeping this ball rolling, man. We coming off two powerful interviews, man. But we finally get back in here and just talk a little shit to y'all today, man. We got y'all covered. Do not worry about the top things that are going on, in the world in hip hop today. We're gonna deliver to you guys in just a few minutes. But yeah, man. How was your day today, Sam, man?
It was dope, man. I got to work out a little bit before it started raining. The weather was all crazy today. It was warm as fuck. Thought it was summer day in the beginning, and then it turned into it poured.
Damn, it ain't raining out here.
Like crazy. Poured where I was at, then it got cold. So I was like, all right, we got all of it today. But all in all, it was cool. Glad to get here. Glad to get in the building. Got some good business taken care of today, man. Got some great news. Got some good conversation started. So all in all, great day. How was yours, man?
Sir. Oh, man, it's great, man. We just getting through this little time here, man. But I will say, it could always be worse. I ain't complaining.
Yeah, no, we're in a good pace and we're in a good place. Honestly, good pace and good place. Being able to sit in the building right now and not have to been told, nah, you can't come in today. You're not allowed. The lights to shut off. Now we can do exactly what the fuck we want to do.
Right.
We'll be able to deliver great content, had some great interviews all this week, man. Had a little bit of a down Monday because we had an interview scheduled. I ain't trying to bring up old wounds and nothing. But it's the top of the fucking week, and I can't help but to think Monday would have been a great goddamn day, but we all know how niggas go and niggas do nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? But then we had a great interview on Tuesday, you know what I'm saying, with Miguel Nunez. Pretty Ricky Fontaine.
What was your thoughts on that one? Now, the consensus now, obviously people have seen the videos that have been posted, and the particular question that you asked him, how did he feel about his role in Joanna Man? And he's going to do a part 2. What are your thoughts, though, about reading the people's reaction to that now?
Man, the people's reaction was they felt like he ducked the question. Now, we are going to put up the entire interview. Can't wait to put up the entire interview because it was a great interview. But into the question in particular that you asked me, I also have to confirm it. I feel like he ducked the question a little bit. I'm not mad at him for ducking the question. He had some serious situations in Hollywood and things and networks going on. We talked to a brother yesterday by the name of D. Bradley, and he lets us know when you go against the establishment, what happens. Happened to be in a situation with some certain people where it happened to him a little bit.
Right.
He didn't want to put on a dress, and they threw him out.
You think you would have done it, though, like early on in your career, if you may have been an actor and it's early on and it's like, yo, this is a big role. This one right here, I'm going to become a millionaire. They're going to pay me $3.5 or $10 million to do this Joanna Man role. Do you think it would then be justified? Because, Tyler Perry, he did it, but he did it with his own series, Medea. And now he's still in the dress sometimes, but he built a bigger empire now. So do you think that he can be justified in putting on a dress? Do you think that he is justified just because it was along his way?
The actor's never justified. To answer your first question, would I had done it early on, I would honestly, with honest conviction at a young age, sitting there wanting to be a star, wanting to be in the game so bad, wanting to feed my family, would have honestly thought about it. And it wouldn't have been justified either, because at that moment in time, I may not have understood the overall totality of what I was honestly doing. Right. To an entire culture. My mind wouldn't have been on an entire culture. It would have been feeding my family for that little bit of time and not knowing how powerful that statement was. I seen a man, and when I asked the question, you can tell that he acknowledged that there's a very bad stigma on the black male image in particular in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
But then kind of ran away and talked about the spirituality behind it, which I really didn't understand, but I let the brother talk. I'd rather talk and engage face to face, and you know what I mean, as opposed to on camera. But allow the man to talk, and I'm glad that he spoke. I respect him a great deal, but I have to disagree with him in this aspect. I don't. I think that there is an agenda. I still personally believe, even though who am I to say that I'm not in Hollywood? He is, but just getting the vibe and getting my feeling, I think it was a little more to that than meets the eye.
What do you think about the fact that he kind of downplayed it and said, "Look, man, white actors do it." You know what I mean? It's just something that they do in Hollywood. There's no agenda. I don't like that excuse, but I'll let you go first on that.
White actors do it a lot, but white actors aren't known, and their career isn't highlighted on that one act. You don't see them boys that were sitting on Brokeback Mountain known and their names being highlighted for doing what they did on Brokeback Mountain. Now, homeboy did the Joker, God rest his soul, and you see Dylan Shaw, whatever his name is, doing a bunch of movies. They're not remembered for that. When I think of Miguel Nunez, or when I think of Miguel Nunez, I think of Pretty Ricky Fontaine. But when the allegation came out on the brother, when it came to that Ralph situation, it was Life and Joanna Man star Miguel Nunez. When you hear
Big
Martin,
movies.
it ain't Martin from the series Martin. It ain't Bad Boy star. It's Big Mama House star Martin Lawrence. I mean, Jamie Foxx, you don't hear Wanda because that wasn't his biggest role, but he played Wanda to get in the game.
Yeah,
There's a lot that had to go on. And there's some questions that have to be asked. Tyler Perry answered the question that T.I. raised to him, and he kind of highlighted he was never comfortable in it, but he still did it.
Yeah.
And I still believe if asked more, and we don't know, was it an impact or a negative impact on the black male image? I would love to hear his response. I think that was a man trying to protect his investment in Miguel Nunez. I'm not mad at him.
No doubt.
I'm mad at him. And hopefully one day he could be a little more open to that question.
And we ain't got to copy everything everybody do. I hate to say, people, do your own thing. Set your own precedent.
Word.
Just because somebody else do it don't mean you got to do it.
Word.
There's thousands of other roles that, will be funny and people will love besides a man emasculating himself or putting on a dress. You know what I mean? I just don't agree with that. But, as far as the agenda part, I just think that people say, well, some black actors didn't, but a lot of them did, bro. A lot of them, like the prominent ones, you can go down the list of Kevin Hart's and your Jamie Foxx's and
Wesley Snipes.
There's just so many of them. Denzel's one that didn't, but then I can give you 10 more right behind Denzel that did. So
the Wayans brothers, shout out to both Marlon and Sean Wayans, who've been very open and candid, but nonetheless have done it too.
They've done it, and we probably can sit there for 10 minutes and keep naming different black actors that went through this, what they call ritual, putting on a dress. I just think that, again, with our history and what we've been through, we don't need those type of images anymore. Let's leave those in the past. I don't agree with the Joanna Man too. I know his fans may want it. I think we need to leave that shit in the past and let's start something new. Let's get on the bandwagon of these. I ain't saying everything got to be some super fucking uplifting movie, but just better roles, man, for black men. That's all.
I would love a nice crime movie, and not in the aspect of what we're typically playing. You know what I'm saying? Something more of a sophisticated boss level. You know what I'm saying? We love the mobster movie kind of things, or like you said, it don't always have to be uplifting, but we just have to be seen in a more respectable fucking manner.
That's it.
Than putting on a dress and gyrating for your laughs and your money. The story, the plot was dope. I'm not going to lie to you, but the fact of the matter is going to remain, you is going to be highlighted for putting on a dress. I respect you more than that. I think you should be respected more than that.
He's a great dude. Good dude.
He's a good brother, man.
Great energy. But, I was actually sitting here. I'm like, whoa, he is ducking this joint, dog. Mm-hmm. And people see that scene like a laugh, smile on my face. I'm like, I ain't kind of didn't believe it that we had, Ricky Fontaine up
Pretty
here.
Ricky with the call.
But man, I watched Return of the Living Dead that night. Like, that's my movie. But, much success to him. He had to do what he had to do, and he's moving forward. But, the people, you got to take heed of what they say, because when a lot of them saying it, there's some truth to that.
That's a fact.
Definitely. But yeah, man, you're tuned into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast with your brother, Old God and Sandman, going in today on this Thursday, man, episode 339. I want to talk about, let's jump into this one right here, the UFC. Now, the UFC pretty much, shut down, after they were pretty much trying to continue on, and nonetheless continue on with their entertainment service that they have for the people. Now, Dana White came out and revealed this, that the UFC 249 has been canceled. Now, Sandman, you said they were trying to get this done by any means necessary.
Yeah, UFC 249 was scheduled between Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov, and the joint was going to be dope. It was probably going to be fight of the year. A lot of people were anticipating and looking forward to this fight. Khabib is from Russia, so he couldn't get out of Russia. They weren't letting him leave. So they had to try to find a replacement. And it was at that time, with all that's going on, people were starting to ask, should they cancel it? And he was like, hell no. If you know anything about Dana White, watched anything of his interviews, heard anything about his story, he's very headstrong, very stubborn, going to do what the fuck he wants to do. And that's why the UFC is so successful and where it's at right now. But you got a little bit of higher ups that stream this broadcast, and people in places that are going, nah, this isn't a good investment. You're not going to lose money. And not only are you not going to lose money, you're not going to give us a bad name while doing it. So we're shutting this shit down. Yeah. You're going to reschedule it. We're going to have Khabib in the country to properly put on this fight so that we can make the money and do it the right way. I think it's a good move, especially coming off of what we've seen with the debacle of WrestleMania.
Mhm.
And not to say that it's the same, because this is live combat sports and it's always the threat of a real knockout, a real injury. So the anticipation will always be higher. But do it the right way. Have the right fighters in that motherfucker. You promoted it. It's already ready to go. If you got to wait a couple months, so be it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Do it right.
No doubt. And by all accounts, hopefully, by June, July, everything will be back to normal.
Hopefully,
I hate to be a progenitor of bad news, but it's looking like that. But also, I was saying, like, damn, well, how's WWE, allowed to continue to go on? And this is just as much contact and sweat and everything going around, just like the UFC. We brought up the obvious answer, Vince McMahon, and being powerful and having his own network.
The WWE network. They're in a UFC network where they can stream the fight. It's ESPN Plus, which is owned by Disney, which is why they were like, nah, this ain't going to happen.
Right.
Disney pretty much forced Dana White's hand in this. Dana White was trying to go to islands and shit. It was so many things that people were hearing because every time he had it from one venue to another, they were shutting it down. They weren't with it. They weren't having it for whatever reason. I don't know why their reasoning was, because why they were sponsoring an event for the WWE. Here it is again. I answer my own question. WWE performed WrestleMania at their own training facility.
Yep.
So that's why they got to put on the show and do what they wanted to do.
Because no arena probably would sign off on that.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what was happening to Dana White, which is why he was going to a private location. And then they were like, nah, this ain't going down.
What do you think, though? Do you think that it still should go down with this whole COVID thing? Or do you agree with this? Like, all right, they should kind of shut this thing down because somebody, a lot of people could transmit this virus. How do you feel about that, though?
I 100% agree with the postponement of it,
right?
But not because of the threat of spread it. Miss me with that. Right. And I'm not trying to be insensitive to anybody who's lost anybody due to this virus or anything like that. Condolences to you, but from what I've seen, from what they're showing us on the media, it's been people that have dealt with predisposed kind of illnesses.
Definitely.
Asthma, high blood pressure, somebody that were dealing with things that kind of grabbed COVID-19, obviously being susceptible of it because of their immune system, and it took over. And that's very sad. I think if you're testing well-conditioned, high immune system athletes in the right situation, and none of them have it or have the threat of having it, I think you could put on a show.
Definitely.
I don't think it will put on the right money and get the right response the way Disney put out in promotion. I think money's involved. And,
Definitely.
And when you look at him even threatening going to a private island and Disney sending their people out to broadcast this, and the threat of them not being able to come back up in the U.S. because of what's going on, it's just so much that's going on with money, and this is all a loss of money.
Right.
And they were like, nah, we're going to postpone this shit. You're going to do it another time.
Yeah.
You're not costing us money. That's my opinion.
Definitely. I'm hoping, that the NFL can start. I'm glad they're still doing the draft. Like, thank goodness they're still doing that. But, it's a lot of people saying that a lot of things might not get going back. I think it's all going to depend on, how many people contract this virus if they get a so-called, what they say, a hold on this thing.
Yeah, I hope the hold is soon, because
it's getting crazy.
I can't do this shit.
Yeah, man.
That shit crazy.
Like another month. But I'm really thinking that they're going to add them. We'll be out of this thing by June.
Yeah.
But.
And that's crazy because we knew when this went down that the kids would probably be out of school to the 20th of April when you add on spring break, right? Ain't even the fucking 10th yet. Is it the 10th?
Close to it. Not there.
So we still got 20 days in this motherfucker. And then May?
Man.
I don't even want to think about this shit.
Yeah. It could happen. But, something that did happen yesterday, I'm kind of, my heart is heavy about this. Philadelphia rapper Chyna Rogers, better known by her stage name Chyna, passed away on Wednesday, April the 8th. Pretty much her family put out a statement and put, Chyna was deeply loved and will be sorely missed. Now she's 25 years old. She's affiliated with ASAP Rocky, that whole movement, and ASAP Yams. And cause of death is not out there right now, Sam, man. But what do you think about this?
Very sad. Aspiring young artist. Didn't know too much about her, but she was from Philly, and I think she was on Power 99 a few times, if I'm not mistaken. So I do and have a familiarity with her, obviously being so local and so close to the area. And for her to pass away at such a young age, we don't know why yet.
Nope.
Don't know what the young lady was going through, but it just kind of you look at your own mortality, and as a father, it just kind of makes you hold your kid a little closer because goddamn life is short. and that young lady has parents or people, elder people that look to her and love her and weren't supposed to bury her. She was supposed to bury them. So that shit is just never easy. It's tough. Condolences to the family. And yeah, that's all I really got to say on it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Same here. Condolences to the family. Now, hopefully, they can get through this rough time, in their life right now. Let's talk about Tiger Joe. Tiger Joe, this whole thing that popped off. Have you seen any episodes yet?
I've seen it all.
I've seen it all. Okay.
Shit.
Cool. So we both seen the whole thing of this Tiger Joe documentary that was released on Netflix. I mean, it took the whole world by storm a couple of weeks ago. Celebrities, were talking about they was watching. It was actually trending like number 2 or 3 on Google Trends for a few days there. I seen Cardi B jump up and said she wanted to start a GoFundMe, all type of nutty shit. But it almost seemed like he turned into like he was being praised, exactly. and people were putting him up on a real high pedestal as he was somebody that was great or some type of a savior. But Sam Ant wanted to bring the question like, yo, but what about the Michael Vick situation, which is very, very similar, even the number of things that were supposedly found dead, tigers and dogs and stuff. One person is vilified, one person is made to be, some type of a God. What do you think about this situation? I might have went a little far with the God thing, but what do you think about this, Sam, man? Are people on for the criticism of the Tiger Joe and the Michael Vick comparison?
I can't wait to see. And then as I'm watching it, and when I first heard of this wild shit, I wasn't ready for what I was watching. I wasn't ready. Now I heard all the stories, and I still wasn't ready for what I saw.
Definitely.
And first off, I wasn't comfortable with any of them. Now anybody knows I respect animals. I'm not an animal lover. I'm not going to cuddle with them. I'm not going to be around them, petting them. I respect animals. Therefore, I don't eat them. I don't mess with that kind of stuff because I have a certain level of respect for all living things. That's just me. That's how I feel. I ain't fucking with no tigers. And for them to be held and be in captivity, and when you look at the statistics of how many endangered tigers we have in the wild compared to how many are in captivity, it's almost double of tigers in captivity. And when you talk about these cat lovers, hey, I love cats, but you sitting here holding them and bringing them in captivity for money and for monetary value, it's ridiculous. And then you talk about a Michael Vick. Now, thank God, ESPN's dope, man, because they had on, I think I was leaving this podcast, I was looking at ESPN, it was an old Falcons. Who were the Falcons playing? I forgot who the Falcons were playing, man, but it was an 06.
Okay.
So Vick was on the New Orleans Saints, when the New Orleans Saints first got together and Breeze just got there and everybody was there. And I'm watching Vick play and I'm just like, God damn, what happened to him? And then it just clicked. I'm like, hold on. What was the difference between what Homeboy did and what Vick did? Vick got jail time, which Homeboy's getting jail time now, but it's for a conspiracy to murder. And then Peter threw their charges on.
Right.
That's not what he's being known for. He's not being known for starving tigers because they didn't have any food in there from what we saw. A lot of that footage was destroyed, was burned.
Yeah.
A lot of people allege that he did that arson because he didn't want his dirty secrets out, that he taped everything. I can guarantee you the abuse of tigers is all through that shit.
Oh, definitely.
The amount of tigers that were killed because of it. Now, you could say whatever you want. You euthanize whatever. Who gives you the right to do that? Why were they euthanized? Were they sick? Were they old? There's reports that people were euthanizing, and within that industry, young baby cubs, because they got to a certain age where they couldn't take pictures anymore, and they took them out. This is disgusting, terrible acts. Michael Vick did a very irresponsible thing at a time where he was going through some stuff. People can debate whether or not he should go to jail or not. That's up to you, whatever.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is he paid for his debt. He did his time. And yet he's still villainized to where he can't even be recognized in games, this or that, because people want to bring back this shit. Therefore, but this dude is making money off of what he did sitting in jail and being highlighted in Netflix. I want you to talk about, oh God, what you were telling me in the pre-production one time about Michael Vick and what he took when he did the bank statement coming out of jail. And all that stuff.
Yeah. He was telling the story. I think it was on Prime. Hopefully I'm saying the right one. I think it was on Amazon Prime, and they had a little Mike Vick thing, and they went back through that whole case. And even in Virginia first, like the state didn't want to even do nothing.
30 for 30 on ESPN.
Okay. The state didn't want to do nothing, but the feds came in, and obviously he did a bad thing, but they broke him to the point where he had to do like 23 or 24 months in prison. When he got out, he said he was with his wife. I think his name's Kayafa. They were sitting on the bed, and you call the number to check your bank, and he said it was like negative $1,000. So he said they both just laughed to keep from crying.
Mhm.
So that's how much they had broke him. But then he said T.I. hit him up like a few days later and was like, you know, what you need, bro? And he said at first, he's like, man, I'm good. And he said, what you need, bro? He's like, I need like 50. He threw him like 80 or 75 or something like that. I think that was dope in there. But I mean, it just goes to show you the double standard. I think in America, where you see, you know, one person, you know, be put up on this high pedestal and people being able to glorify this one person and this other guy because he's black and did it to dogs. People want to, you know, continue to bring this up and not let him live past, you know, or get past this as a man. So, you know, it is what it is, man. At the end of the day, I just think that obviously, in my opinion, it definitely has something to do with the colors of the individuals in this situation. Definitely.
I'm going to go even further. Oh, God, it's not just the color, it's the sexuality. He's a white homosexual male, and he's getting a lot of sympathy and he's getting a lot of praise. For a lot of different reasons, but let's just call it for what it is because there's just as many. I don't even want to hear that dog argument because I love dogs way more than I love cats, but there's a lot of motherfuckers that love cats way more than they love dogs.
Yeah, true,
and Aaron Peter, and they love tigers, and that's why they want to pet them and take pictures and shit. But what's going on behind the scenes as y'all help exploit the situation? He wasn't out there, Michael Vick, asking y'all to come in and throw donations and watch, throw money in the fight. No, but you were taking pictures, and this is some. And I don't, I just might have to get cut out of the YouTube version, but for the podcast people, it's some white privilege shit all over again. Y'all want to have your fucking cake and eat it too. Not all, but a lot. The same ones that are taking the pictures with the fucking tigers and doing all this stuff and gyrating and doing all this because you love animals. Meanwhile, they're getting tortured when the doors are closed and when it's closed are the same ones that look at Michael Vick like he's a criminal, like he's like this or that, he's a killer, he needs to go to jail. And it's some underlying racism that goes on and y'all need to identify.
And this guy used to carry a pistol on his hip. And on one of the scenes, he actually shot. It looked like he shot the tiger. Did you see that one scene?
Yeah, hell
like,
yeah.
But he admitted, I think, you know, in a clip that he used to shoot the tiger in the head or some shit for whatever reason. So he looked like the type that had just, you know, pulled out. Yeah, definitely.
He wasn't, he admitted the shit. He was a meth head.
Yeah. The other dude he had all his teeth was missing. The young boy that was his husband.
Yeah.
He had like 3 husbands. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
It was wild. One committed suicide. One was a meth head and testified on him in court. Talk about the rats in that guy.
Oh, my God.
Whew, that was sick.
That was sickening. That's the part, especially that fat white guy. He pissed me off. I was like, man, what the fuck are you doing? He was acting like a fucking police officer and shit. Like, he wanted to be a cop.
Oh, my God.
That shit just stinks to me. Even though he did all the fuck shit, like, yo, that's between y'all. You know, obviously think somebody's going to switch, but he took it upon himself, like, to really go in. And you know, what do you think about this part, with, you know, about the whole murder thing? Do you think he was kind of coerced into kind of saying that?
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
He was saying it on some wild shit, but once Homeboy came on and started calculating the plan and actually throwing some payroll on it, you never know. Homeboy could have took a bump of cocaine, some heroin, could have been wild, buzzing.
Right.
And like, word, let's do it. And they were like, yo, film everything because he was trying to get, it was some dirty, rotten shit in there, boy. Yeah. And Homegirl wasn't in the wrong too. I think she killed her husband. She fed that motherfucker to the tigers.
Oh, yeah.
They can't find this nigga. How many white millionaires you know go mysteriously missing?
Right.
Shit. That shit was a trip, man.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, man, I will never get in the cage with a fucking tiger. That shit's crazy.
Never in my life. And my lady wanted to go down to that Virginia joint and pet tigers. I'm like, you are fucking crazy. We watched it together. She don't want to go down there now, thank God.
Oh, good.
But I'm like, nah.
Is it because of the treatment of tigers? It's because how big they are.
Because of the treatment of tigers.
Okay.
Why do I want to go down there?
No, I was talking about
her because of the treatment. She don't give a fuck how big they are. Me, both.
Fuck that.
Both. Like a motherfucker. Equally both.
Yeah.
You ain't get me in no ring with no fucking tiger. You see the homegirl that got her arm ripped off and was still sitting there with her nub and shit talking? That's meth, dog. They ain't no fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
They was all that one.
Yeah.
Shout out, man. But Michael Vick, man, treated very unfairly, man. And it should be noted, should be highlighted. And we're going to do it.
Definitely. All right. So now that we know how ExpressVPN protects your privacy and security online, but here's something that you don't know. You can also use ExpressVPN to unlock movies and shows that are available in other countries. Now that so many of us are stuck at home, it's only a matter of time before you're going to run out of stuff to watch on Netflix. So this whole week, Sandman, I've been using ExpressVPN to binge watch on UK Netflix Black Mirror.
Word.
It's so simple. All I do is fire up the ExpressVPN app, change the location to UK, refresh Netflix, and that's it. C, ExpressVPN hides your IP address and lets you control where you want the sites to think you're located. So you could choose from over 100 different countries. So just think about it. Netflix libraries, all the Netflix libraries that you can actually go through.
Love anime? Use ExpressVPN to access Japanese Netflix and be spirited away. But it's not just Netflix. ExpressVPN works with any streaming service, Hulu, BBC iPlayer, YouTube, you name it. There are 100 VPNs out there, but the reason I use ExpressVPN to watch shows is because it's ridiculously fast. There's never any buffering or lag, and you can stream in HD no problem. ExpressVPN is also compatible with all your devices, phones, media consoles, smart TVs, and more. You can watch what you want on your personal device or big screen wherever you are. If you visit our special link right now at expressvpn.com/HHU101, you can get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. You heard me right.
That's right.
It's time to support the show, watch what you want, and protect yourself with ExpressVPN at expressvpn.com/HHU101. One more time, expressvpn.com/HHU101.
And I got a great story about a VPN because I remember, a few years back when I started on YouTube.
Oh, man.
And I woke up one day and I couldn't get access to my account. And I'm like, dang, the YouTube suspended my account. But no, I found that they had hacked me. And I found out the way they hacked me was, because they were able to see what I was doing and get my keystrokes. And I knew then, I asked my man, I was like, yo, how could I prevent this? He said, get a VPN. What a VPN does is pretty much it stops anybody, no matter what entity it is, from looking at what you're doing. And that includes hackers, or even government entities or anything like that. They can't be looking at what you're doing. Why is that important? You got your bank information, you got pictures of your family, everything is in your computer and your phone. So I would definitely, give 100% approval to ExpressVPN. My own personal experience. Get a VPN. Get this one now.
And you know what the funny thing is? And still get a VPN. Don't not get a VPN. But the story that he just told was the whole reason why this shit even started. We'll talk about that next time but during that time he went to Puerto Rico and I had just started a thing called Viral Hip Hop Revolution that was supposed to be the original podcast.
Right.
And then God got hacked. So I had to start a Viral Hip Hop News myself. Right. And here we are today.
Definitely, man.
Love it.
Definitely in the building. Let's talk about Sam and Chris Johnson. Now, I was looking early and I seen like Chris Johnson, like some murder for hire. I'm like, what? Not that Chris Johnson, but yeah, apparently it's true.
Man, back in 2009, Chris Johnson ran for 2,000 yards with the Tennessee Titans. I remember Madden back then, and this motherfucker was so fast. You could not touch him, man. Yeah. He was the human highlight reel, and he was that joystick and kind of spring jumped. And maybe I'm a little off, but I got to give him this credit, man. The Lamar Jacksons and everything like that, even though they're quarterbacks, we seen that speed from Chris Johnson first, like, whoa, he's jumping off the screen. Well, unfortunately, Johnson is being accused, of funding a murder for hire plot against two men who allegedly committed a 2015 shooting that Chris Johnson was involved in back in 2015 that left him wounded in his shoulder and his friends Darius Johnson dead because of it. Now, according to TMZ, Dominic Bolden killed the two men throughout 2016. In court documents, it has just been revealed that Johnson is being accused of paying Bolden to commit the acts. They also allege that Johnson helped Bolden get a higher ranking inside of Florida's based drug trafficking organization. All of these allegations come from, of course, an informant. Now, Johnson has not been arrested or charged for any of these allegations, although it appears as though law enforcement is looking to make a case against him. The former NFL running back is adamant that he is innocent and there is no base to these allegations. Damn, I read that live. Oh, God, I knew that he was up for these allegations, but I didn't know why. Now that I know why, I want to hear your thoughts.
Nah, I mean, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? That's the way, things go in the street. Somebody does something to you, you take it upon yourself to do something back. That's why you see people getting arrested for murder, attempted murder, and, it's that retaliation factor. So I'm definitely not surprised, not to say that he did it or anything, but I'm not surprised if I hear that storyline and I hear that people, especially, he was wounded, could have died. Obviously, anytime you get shot, you could have died, period. So not justifying it, but I'm not surprised, I should say.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not true for the simple fact that You don't want to see this man's freedom being taken away. But I understand like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I understand. If somebody tried to take my life, even though I am not a street dude, I've never claimed to be in the streets, but I guess you could say I practice certain principles. I'm not telling on anybody.
Right.
And certain matters, I feel like I'm going to take into my own hands. And even if that means not telling certain people because they know I'm going to take shit into my own hands, that's what I'm going to do if I feel justified in doing that. This is one of them situations where I can personally say I feel pretty justified.
Yeah.
You killed my friend or my family in front of me. You tried to take me out.
Yeah,
I survived.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like I said, hopefully it didn't happen. Hopefully cooler heads can prevail and we can find out that this wasn't true. But this is the main piece in the situation is there was an informant. So hopefully some conversations weren't taped and some things weren't being recorded and documented to put this right on him. We'll find out. Fucking informants.
Definitely. I want to talk about Fred the Godson, Bronx rapper. About a week or so ago, he pretty much, put this picture out and showed him with the face mask. Then eventually, I think he's now ended up on the ventilator, and that's because he was diagnosed with the coronavirus that's been going around right now. Now, his wife pretty much said, and I'll quote her, she said, it was just like the doctors told her pretty much, he's gone and he's going to die. That's it. She said, I didn't even know how I felt. I just felt like I was going to die. However, now it's been, a breakthrough in this case. Now we see Fred the Godson, we see his picture. Everybody, from our era and even, before and after knows who he is. Now they're saying now that they're revealing that the ventilator is supporting him 70% as opposed to 100% when he was in the hospital. So he's getting better. They're saying he's winning. But eventually when he went in there, they're saying that the doctor said he was going to die. Now, I know why this is the case is because when you look up the statistics saying, man, when people make it to the ventilator, it's a higher percentage than not that you may pass away at that point because it's like it's helping you breathe. And, but for him, it looked like it's turning, trending in a positive direction because he's getting more and more of his capacity to breathe himself as opposed to the ventilator, doing it for him. So just wanted to put that update out there for the people. What do you feel about Fred the Godson?
Praying for him and his family. Definitely don't want to see anybody going through this virus. And I know that we talk about this often on this show. And I can personally speak from my own words where I kind of give the impression that I don't believe it. And that's not true. I believe that the COVID-19 virus is very real and that is affecting people whose immune system are susceptible to this very serious virus. Now, I don't even take lightly the fact that some people have illnesses, some people are older and things like that. But where I kind of draw the line is how the media stares such a overreaction to people having a very serious illness, but also having issues and those issues not being highlighted. There was an interview Fred the Godson had back in 2014 with Sway, and I don't know exactly what he spoke about because I did not listen to the interview, but what it does highlight to me is the title, Sway Teaches Fred Godson New Words, talks his health issues, and performs live on Sway in the Morning. So he spoke on health issues as early as 2014. I don't know exactly what those health issues were. I don't know if they were any reason in why the COVID-19 virus hit him as seriously as it did, but
most likely.
I
mean, because you look at it, you're more, likely to pass away if you got pre-existing health conditions, period. If you're morbidly obese, it's certain things that, is going to make it to where, you got a higher chance. Dime, we seen people personally that we know, they posted a brother today that passed away, God rest his soul. But the brother was kind of on the heavy side, beast, probably had a list of health problems, not to say, put it out there,
right.
Who knows, just showing with him and other people. So it just goes to show you that, even say if you got diabetes, high blood pressure, anything like that, like now is the time for you to be extra, extra careful because when this virus gets inside you, it could really wreak havoc on your system. So it's not surprising to see, not that we want to see it, people who are more heavy set, predisposed medical conditions, diabetes, blood pressure, getting on that ventilator, and some of them eventually passing away.
Nah, yeah. And nobody wants to see that. But this is where you got to hold my sympathy and go jump in the lake. Because after we learn that, okay, there are real viruses out here that are hitting people who have certain lacks in their immune system, whatever the case may be, and you still eating them fucking Popeye chicken sandwiches, and you still out here doing this and running around doing bad and not trying to strengthen and educate yourself in how to properly defend yourself internally before you can do anything outwardly like buying Lysol, toilet paper, and fucking hand sanitizer. Don't come to me if somebody else falls, and they will. Because now we have to educate ourselves on properly doing the right things that are going to take care of us. We can't depend on the media. We can't depend on this person or that person or the schools or this to take care of our business. Let's take care of our business and learn something from this. The people who are out here in extra, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely. Yeah, that's another report I want to talk about here. It said an additional 6.6 million Americans filed for unemployment last week. I also was looking at another report that said, a lot of people in the month of April didn't even make their rent payments. You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
Or made a partial rent payment. We talked about the mortgage industry; that's on the verge of collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of industries right now on the verge of collapsing. I think this is going to be the bigger calamity. Is what happens to the economy. Definitely we don't want to see people dying. There's a lot, but the biggest thing is going to be what's going to happen to this economy if we can't get back to normal life and the economy doesn't open back open. We were talking about AMC movies saying they're not going to be able to, most likely reopen.
Yeah,
because
that's huge.
There's just no income coming in, and it's a lot of places like that where they can't make any money and they can't pay their bills. This is real, bro. Real.
This is the part that's very real about it. And we watched the collapse in 2008, sitting in very different situations in 2008 than we are now. But we watched it. We watched the effect. We watched people lose their business. We watched people lose their homes. We watched families that you ain't think would be uncomfortable find themselves in very uncomfortable situations. It's definitely what we're looking at right now. And the scarier part about this now than it is 2008 is we're stuck in a house watching it. We're not allowed to move. Some people were perfectly fine and okay grinding, but we're waiting for that next check to be able to save, and that next check didn't come. And now real shit hit the fan. And now we're looking at a situation where we got to depend on the government to provide us funds to keep moving because mortgage companies and rent agencies and leasing companies aren't having any sympathy. They expect you to save, even though realistically the regular normal household in America with a normal job is not realistically be able to save any fucking thing. They got us by the balls, and people are going to start reacting because survival mode is going to kick in very soon because it's very equal to panic mode.
Yeah.
And we're going to start seeing some weird and ugly shit.
And I heard the governor of New Jersey, somebody, I think it was the Breakfast Club, they were asked and they were like, yo, you know what I'm saying? What if, people got to, choose between their mortgage and rent and eating? He said the choice is obvious. We understand. So it's like, damn, like, okay, like you saying all this shit, but when I call mortgage company, they saying they don't give a damn what the governor say. They saying that it matters what happens federally. So, I just don't like it. I mean, nobody's gotten that stimulus money yet.
No.
The businesses haven't been funded yet. I know I haven't heard anything yet. I put the application in probably over a week ago, and you have too. I'm sure you haven't got an email yet.
Sure, I haven't. I even got a confirmation email. I got a confirmation number after you fill out that I got screenshotted, but
after that, nothing. And then I was hearing dude was saying, "Oh, few days to be funded and all that." I don't know what's going to happen, but they better do something fast. I think they're saying by the end of this week something's going to be in motion, but. They're sitting up there, in DC, probably living in a $250,000 or $500,000 home. They're living good, man, and they're not feeling it. They're not going to feel it until people start coming out of these projects and hoods and stuff and start invading their territory, asking questions, because there's way more on people that's not doing good than the people that is doing good out there. So they better get this thing together because you guys are telling people to stay there at home. Is it helping? Maybe, but it's like, yo, let's go.
If it is helping, then y'all need to properly help us. If staying home is helping, then y'all need to help us because, for example, there's a $300 amenity fee that I have to pay every year, right? That I thought I paid last month, but I apparently didn't. I got to pay it this month. But amenities right now are closed. I don't have a gym where I'm at. I don't have a pool where I'm at. My kid can't go play on the playground if she wants because it's closed. But you're still making me pay the fee. I didn't pay it. But I got a letter saying that if I don't pay it, then we're going to take action, this and that. So eviction notices are still being released.
Yeah.
You're still giving people the anxiety of being kicked out of their home where nowhere to go. and no answer, people gonna start tripping.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are on the bottom, and there's a lot of people that are teetering on that edge.
Yeah.
And they're not going to react well.
Patient. Yeah.
They're not going to react well.
And they're trying, and, food is probably running out. I can only imagine. I keep saying this, man. Like, I remember, man, every day was like nitty gritty because I had to make money every day. I had to pay the rent. Like, and if I was told that I can't work and create this money, I didn't have nothing else. So at this point, man, I don't know where I would be right now, man. You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine the people out there, man. Again, the people that think they pretty up in their cribs and they sitting well and everything, we've seen situations where it's like, all right, I'm going to get this motherfucker shit because I don't have shit. And I don't care about your guns because it's 50 of them coming. You know what I mean?
And it's going to get there. It's going to get there. They're going to have to be careful. I don't even want to say hopefully, because hope is for the hopeless.
How long have we got, Sam, man? How long have we got to this thing implodes?
As far as money is concerned?
Yeah.
May. When rent's due.
Yeah, again, yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Because most families, a lot of good people just gave their last month rent just now.
Right.
And if there's no stimulus check, there is no rent paid. How's that car getting paid? And no shit, everybody's home right now, stuck in the house, eating 3 times a day at least. We got to go buy food too, and then pay for gas, and then have amenities. The amenities are being, and the utilities are being a little more understanding.
Yeah.
But they can't evict you from your fucking home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's getting real, dog. I think May. I think next time that rent go around.
They're saying they're going to pause all evictions and foreclosures, but that don't matter because it's like, at the end of this, even if your mortgage company or rent's trying to work, at the end of that period, whenever this is over, they want that shit all in one lump sum.
And how am I supposed to fucking believe that I'm still getting letters saying I'm going to get evicted?
Right.
They're still sending them.
Wow.
They still going through procedure like normal. Like we still busting and moving. Like it's nothing special going on. They sent the first notice and say, okay, we understand what's going on. We apologize to all families, but rent's due between the 1st and the 5th, and it'll be due every fucking month after that. Good luck. And we hearing one thing from the government and hearing one thing from these realtors, and I'm listening to the realtors.
Yeah.
Shit's getting real, though.
I mean, I know if it was me, man, that situation, man, I got to get the food first. And the last thing I'm going to be paying is the rent and the mortgage.
Yeah, you go to hell. Come kick me out.
Yeah.
Come in here if you want.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm just hoping, and I'm frustrated about it a lot simply because, in 08, it's going to be worse than 08. And it's like, you want to be in position to obviously benefit, from this. And there's definitely going to be some things to benefit from. But, we'll see how it goes, man, definitely.
It's going to be a lot of bad before there's a lot of good. And that's very unfortunate because when you look at the reasoning and the why, it'll make your stomach turn. I don't know what that is yet, but I'm sure it wasn't worth people losing their homes, their businesses, and getting this mass chaos the way it is. It's not right.
What do you think about Bernie Sanders dropping out of the presidential race?
I don't care.
Fuck him.
And I don't believe in this political shit to begin with. A lot of people were backing for Bernie. A lot of people say that they were, get voters swinging this way, that way. All this is a ploy, man. They knew at the 25th hour he was going to back out anyway.
Trump's going to win. They knew.
They knew. It would be Biden versus Trump. Biden didn't go against him the first time because he wasn't going to win the first time, and he ain't going to win now.
They're going to pretend like it's close, and he'll win. He's not. Biden's got no chance in hell on beating Trump. He just don't.
Nope. I don't care what you think about him. He's done some shit that I don't even agree with when it comes to this shit, as far as lying and not being honest and government money. I don't like all the back and forth and stuff. And this makes me think all politics is politics.
Right.
But I'm not also going to sit back on the other side and say and blame him for everything either. Miss me with all this shit.
Definitely. But yeah, man, another episode 339 of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. I want to give out a few special announcements real quick before we get out of here. One is we got a special right now. If you're an artist or a producer, you represent an artist, make sure you hit us up if you want to get your music, not only on our podcast, but both of our YouTube channels, all 3 of our YouTube channels, totaling almost 1 million subscribers and millions of views per month. Hit me up right now at ohgod@hiphopun.com and Sam and at DLS Media Inc. 1 at gmail.com for more information. Also, I want to give a shout out to my main man, Foul Mouth Angel, right now for doing this spectacular work of art. I know you can't see all the rappers back there, but if you ever go behind the scenes and follow our YouTube channel and Instagram, you'll be able to see way more, of it. So shout out to him for doing that. And hopefully we'll have him down in the studio real soon once this whole COVID thing, is over. But that's all I got on my side today.
Yeah, man, I want to give a special shout out to our guest in the building this week so far, Miguel Nunez, David D. Bradley, and Johnny Nunez. We had 3 incredible interviews that you guys can check out on all 3 platforms. You'll see segments of those interviews going out throughout the week. The full episodes more than likely will be on the Uncensored Truth podcast. Go subscribe to that channel if you're not. And of course, you can listen to it raw, real, and always uncut on the podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and all major online outlets. Shout out to Digital Soapbox. Shout out to all of our sponsors. ExpressVPN is in the building this evening. Go grab your VPN right now. That's all I got. Oh, God, it's the Sandman, Borrow Hip Hop News. Oh, God, Hip Hop News Uncensored together. We are the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Over and out. Peace.